Bonjour! Welcome to my channel. My name is Izabella Orzelski and I'm the artist painter from Edmonton, Canada. If you enjoy watching my videos, please don't forget to subscribe and to press the like button. Enjoy and salut! Hello guys! Today we will be learning how to evaluate colors according to two characteristics. One of them will be the temperature, so that means if the color is warm or cool and how this will affect the overall look of the painting. And the second characteristic is about the opacity versus transparency and how can we apply this quality or characteristic into our own paintings. So let us start. As you can see here, I have a number of paints already spread out, and I will use palette knives to create the base. Those are the acrylic paints. And I've done it on purpose because I don't want to wait until my oil paints will dry. In case of acrylics, that will happen right away. So I pick up two different blues. The first one, it's a cobalt blue. Let us just go with one even layer. As you can see, the layer of cobalt paint is on. As you can see, this paint covers the surface, but only when I apply really quite a heavy load of it. This color is semi-transparent or semi-opaque, depends which brand produces it. This one is cayenne, so it's a little bit more like cerulean. So it covers a little bit more, and I want to make sure that the whole surface will not show up any white spot. Notice that I secured the paper to the surface of the table with masking tape. I've done it to prevent any wrinkling of the paper. Fantastic. So this layer is done. Now we will do reds. This one is cadmium red medium. Doesn't move towards the orangey color, which would be the characteristic of cadmium red light. So here's just pure beautiful red, and I think I will apply a little bit more of it. So as you can see, my acrylics are here. Good, so red is on. Then we will move to a darker red. It's important to see the difference, how the colors behave. Voila. This color, you can notice, is more transparent because it is our alizarin, or it works as alizarin here. So you can see this one much heavier in comparison. See, this really wants to become transparent, so it's quite a heavy load of paint to make sure that the white is not visible. Good. We still have to apply yellow, so you can see it's opaque, but at the same time I think one of the characteristics is that it's not really very heavy. So I will help myself, and then I will simply just squeeze it from the tube. So that's our yellow, quite a heavy layer, but again, we need it. Very good. And then we will use yellow ochre. So that will be, you can see how heavy the paint is. And then a little bit of gray. Let's see, it's not really heavy. So I'll go on the top with my phthalo green, which is, it's brighter first of all, and it's cooler. It looks like it's more of the blue in it. And I'm saying it because green is a secondary color. And secondary, that means that it consists of the mixture of two colors. In case of green, it is blue and yellow. Okay, another layer. Again, I'm avoiding seeing the white underneath. So it's a little bit difficult now because this particular green, phthalo green, is not really opaque. It's very stainy, I call it, very, very transparent. Okay, so we do our best. And now we got the mixture of those two greens. The more warmer one, that means with more yellow in it, and the cooler one, which is our phthalo green. Good. So we have to let the paint dry, and then once it is dry, we will move to application of oil paints on the top. And I want to show you how the colors will work in terms of their opacities and their transparencies. So let's wait. If I can recommend to use something, I definitely would say always purchase purple and orange color. Those two secondary colors are manufactured. And the reason for it is that somehow red and yellow mixed by us, it never will have the same saturation, that means intensity, of the color that is produced and purchased in tubes or in containers. So now, depending on how much you add red to yellow, you get orange on the red side or the orange on the yellow side. Let us now switch to another combination, and that will be blue mixed with red. Well, out of those two colors, we will get a purple color. So I can see this purple contains white in it, but without that even, I will show you here in oils two different purples. So you can already notice that this one has more red in it, while this contains more of the blue. Okay. These three colors, yellow, red, and blue, are called primary colors. While when I move to the colors that we mixed out of them, let's see, this green, this purple, and this orange, well, I will call those colors secondary colors. We also, in art, talk about so-called complementary colors. There are three pairs of complementary colors are one primary color, like let's see, we take red, and one secondary color that is on the opposite side on the color wheel. So in this case, one of those three pairs is red, primary color, and green as a secondary color. Now, when you place those colors one next to another, the painting becomes very vibrant. Your eyes move from one color to another, or from one section covered with this color to another one, and there's, again, so much energy in your painting that if you want to capture the attention of the viewer, this is the way to go. Another of such pair of colors is our primary color called blue and orange as a secondary color. Again, one color placed next to another causes that our eyes are moving from one of it to another, and there's so much energy going on. The third pair is the purple, which is the secondary color, and the primary color, yellow. So again, those colors help each other to be brighter. Another color scheme is called analogous colors, and what it means that on the color wheel there are colors following each other. Let's see, we start from yellow, then we go to the yellowish orange, then we move to the orange, then we move to the orangey red, then we move to the red, and so on, so on, so on. So when I take the colors, let's see, when we go by the yellows and orange color and red, and we place between, let's see, we put the another color like this, another yellow, and we get the color out of the yellow and orange, and then from orange and yellow with more orange in it. This kind of color combination will be called an analogous color scheme. So you want to have a painting in which majority of the colors will be coming from this family of colors, one place next to another. So this way you create a very peaceful feel in your painting or general mood. Now, how can I take away intensity of the color? Very simple. I have three options to do it. Let's start with the color that is really very, very bright, and I think we will use this particular blue for it. So I'm taking a little bit of it on my palette. Good. And then I'll spread it using my palette knife in the way that we can see. By adding other colors, we will see what will happen. I also like to add a little bit of white to it, because this way we will be able to see better what's going on. White is here. And now, how we will take away intensity of the blue. With the white, it will be not enough, because it will be still quite bluish color. So one of these options will be to add the raw amber color to it. And I really love this color by itself. Where it stays, oh, you can see it even. I love this color because on its own it's not really very attractive. However, it's an excellent color for toning down the other color. So truly it provides a supportive role to us. So the color looks by itself like this. It's a perfect neutral color. So I have my blue, and notice what will happen when I mix it with my raw amber. You see the color right away is toned down. So that means the intensity is gone. Let's put a little bit of white into it. Notice I still have a blue color, but it's so different. Looks peaceful, right? This is super bright. So again, I can put more blue into it, but notice it's quite quiet, peaceful color. Another option to make the blue looking not as sharp is to add to it black color. I have a black here, so I'm adding a little bit of it on the side. I'm cleaning up my brush because I don't want to have palette knife, sorry. I don't want to have my raw amber influencing the look. And you see just a little bit of it here, just a tiny bit. So let's see how the color will look like, and of course a little bit of white. Right, so how our color will behave, very similar to the first combination, notice. So it's no more as intense as it was by itself, just blue, blue, blue. So we have another neutral combination. Now the third one will be to add complementary color to it. Since complementary color to our blue is orange, I'm taking a little bit of orange on the side, and notice what will happen now. I have my blue here, so I take just a little bit. I'm always careful, I never put too much. See, and here we are coming. Little bit of white, and notice what is happening. The color is no more bright. See, so those three different combinations. So again, you have to have a knowledge about your colors. You have to know about what is primary, what is secondary colors, how you can mix them, how can you neutralize them, according to create really a good painting. When you will just rely on regular colors mixed with some white or just among them mixing, it won't be the same as long as you will be able to know how to create neutral colors and introduce them to your painting. Because otherwise the painting will be too bright. So that's what we learned. Let's learn now about something else. In terms of temperature of the colors, we will know that all the blues, greens and purples and blacks, of course, will be perceived as cool colors. However, even without the blues and reds, blues and purples even, and greens, we have warm greens and cool greens. We have the same as with blue and purple. So you have to be careful. In general, we will say yes, they are the cool colors. However, then the families, we will see warm and cool as well. In terms of like generally warm colors, we will consider yellow, we will consider red, and we also look at our orange color. Now, among those colors, We have also cool yellow, which is the lemon yellow. We have very warm. When you look at those two, this probably will be even warmer, more earthy color. We have cool reds, such as alizarin crimson, and the warmer one. This one is also very nice. In general, we can talk about temperature, but then we have to look at specific color to really make the judgment and then decide how we will use it in our painting. I wanted to show you a very important color. There's a big difference between this color, which is called titanium white, or we have it here, and the color called maples or buff. In this case, in acrylics, that will be a buff color. And I want to show you the difference. So you can see that this color has a very natural look to it. So even when you take the blue, you can see that the blue is toned down, and so will be with any other color. Our paint is dry. I have my medium, and I make a special one, but you can use regular oil, linseed oil, and it will be fine. I will pick up some brushes, and I will make sure that my brush will be the soft one. So it will be not bristle brush, because I'm not interested in creating additional strokes, visible strokes in my painting or texture. Now I wanted to show you how the transparent colors and opaque colors work. So for that purpose, I will be using oils. I think especially for the transparencies, the best effect is achieved by using oils. So a little bit of my medium, and then notice just a little bit here. And then I take a little bit of yellow. This is an artificial cadmium yellow, medium, and I will go with it on top of the blue, a little bit more. And it doesn't do very much for me unless I apply a little bit more. This cadmium yellow, it's not really a very heavy color. So should be opaque, but it's not really very much. And the more medium I use, the more I dilute it. And then I get green color out of it. It's quite dark. And now I want to show you what will happen when I use another color, which is called raw sienna. And raw sienna has a more natural look to it. So I'm going here with the color. It's very transparent, and you will see how different this green will look like. So, but this is the quality, the transparency of the color. You see, the color that I applied now on top of the blue color will, because of its transparency, will interact with the color underneath, giving me a new color. So that's what I'm getting here. And in terms of old master, that's what they use to create beautiful painting, like Vermeer. He used this glazing technique. So you can see with raw umber, we get green color, but it's a very different than the one in which we applied our cadmium yellow. Now, I want to show you why we are here. This is in cadmium yellow medium. So we have here cadmium yellow light, and then we should have cadmium yellow dark, which is very orangey, and I don't want to use it. So you can see one and another one. Now, this is a cheap version. This is the student brand. And I'm very much encouraging you to use really good quality paints, especially in case when you use the transparent paints. This is like a must then. So you see the difference will be like here Winsor and Newton, and this is it's not stated here, but this is the regular student quality, that means less pigment. And this one, it's a different brand, but doesn't matter which brand, you always have the statement artist quality paint. So that's when you look at Rembrandt brand, I really love this brand because it produces very good quality paint for still very reasonable price. Now I want to use this beautiful yellow color and apply it on red and show you what will happen with red. So you see, by simply using it there, I'm creating kind of orangey color. See, it slightly changes, not super much, but enough to create an orange color. Now when I apply this lovely yellow on the top of my cerulean, a very different effect. So everything depends on what kind of even color within the family of, let's see, yellows or blues or greens you use. You see, very different greens. So we have green here. Just look, maybe apply a little bit more of the color here. It's a different green than over there. Now when I go on top of my color, which is the alizarin, which is a cool red. Again, I get a different kind of orangey color. Now on the green, I simply will warm up my green, nothing else what will be done. You can see it's a different green that I get. Now the another color that I want to experiment with will be the blue. We will use the ultramarine blue. If you notice that your tubes don't want to open, they are too dry for some reason, try to use some other methods. Good. So I'm using the ultramarine blue, and I place a little bit on the side here for myself, and then I moved to another color, which will be a phthalo. And phthalo is a very aggressive blue color, so I have to be very careful how I will use it. So I'm putting my brush on the side. These two are very transparent colors. When I will use another color called cerulean, this will be the only opaque blue color. I use ultramarine blue first, and I show you here on the side what kind of interaction we get with transparent blue color. We get kind of purplish color. We can also move it right away to the other red, which will be the alizarin crimson. There's not such a big difference. It will be more if you would have some white, right, to show you. But right now you can see how beautiful, how deep the color will look like, because you can mix it first on the palette, but it won't be the same. So this is the one, and I want to show you what will happen when we place the color on the top of yellow. We are getting green. Transparent blue color on top of the yellow gives us green, and the same will be on this side. Very good. Very different green, you can see. Now when I go for my phthalo, that's a very intense color. Because of its intensity, I call it vampire. Right away, big difference. Big, right? Both of them are green, but how differently they look like. Now I take my phthalo and I'm applying it right away next to the ultramarine blue on top of the red. Notice how different. And the same with alizarin crimson. And now we move to the opaque blue. So when I use the opaque blue, notice what's happening. Wow, we don't, because the paint is not transparent, the yellow disappears, and all what we see blue. That's the difference. It's opaque paint. Let's apply it here. Wow, the same story. You see, that's what is happening when we have opaque paint. You can see that this combination is simply as a blue. There's no combination here. You can see through, right? So we get the blue color, we don't get green color out of it. So the last color that I want to use here now to demonstrate what is going on is red. So we will be using transparent red. We have two reds. I want to show you the opaque red, which would be the cadmium red medium, and we will use quinacridone red or alizarin crimson, doesn't matter, but that's what we have here. So we have to again open our tube, one and another one. Oh, I show you more of the magenta, that will be even a better choice. Good. Yeah. And we will use crimson. We'll use those three. Right. Very good. So you can see right away that my crimson is very, very transparent. I call it stainy. It's not a heavy color, and it's very good also for sketching, for glazes. Now I will show you our color called cadmium red medium. See, it's quite opaque. It's not really super heavy, but it's opaque. And then we'll have magenta, just to show you the difference, how cool this color can be. See, very, very cool in comparison to cadmium red, and also cool in comparison to alizarin crimson, that is also a cool red. Both magenta and alizarin are transparent. Now we use another brush again and dipping our brush in medium, super important. You can't otherwise move the paint. We start with alizarin. So the alizarin will go on our blue. So you can see when we place it on cerulean, we get purple. We get really nice purple. Since I have plenty of this paint, so I move it right away to the other section. So we get purplish color. We get purplish color over there, and I also want to see what will happen with my yellow. So when I use this cool red called alizarin, I get kind of orangey color here too. And then on my cadmium yellow. Now, when I apply it on the green, that's another interesting story. With my alizarin, I get interesting color here. Should get kind of brownish color. And adding to it transparent blue, such as the ultramarine blue, I'm able to get black. See, this will give me kind of dark brownish color. Perfect. Now we move to magenta. So our magenta, it's almost purplish by itself. So we'll apply it next to the alizarin crimson, gives us different color. Again, notice. They are all different. The most important is the paint is transparent. Let's apply it on this section, right here. The color changes too, just the interaction. Even on the red, and I'm applying here on the cadmium red, I'm applying magenta. Notice the red becomes really rich, like a caramel color. Very, very important. I'm also taking a little bit of alizarin, and the combination of cadmium red, which is an opaque color, with alizarin gives me beautiful combination. Now I want to move to my yellows. So on my yellow, I want to apply my magenta color. Notice. Whoa, different than the other one? Yes, a little bit. You can see small differences, and this is the beauty about the transparent colors. There are very subtle changes. That's what we want to have when we create sophisticated paintings. So that's what you get here. See, I'm still using more. There's a difference. Now, I want to show you what will happen when we use opaque red color. So I'm using now medium, and I'm moving to my red. Now with my red, I'm going on this section here. See, and the color, what I see, I don't see any interaction with yellow. I see the section covered with the red, and the color that I get, it's not like in cases of the other ones, except of course cerulean, because my red is opaque and my cerulean, the blue, is opaque. All what I see the application of red and blue here. I don't see any interaction with yellow like in other cases. So the same on this color, notice, all what I see is red. The other combination here, let's see what you get. See, the same story. My color covers perfectly the section. Notice what's happening. Whew. That's what you get. We get the same in this section. Very good. And then I'll just refresh it here, and you have it. So you can see the differences, except that I want to show you what will happen in this section on the green. On the green, again, we don't see anything else but red. We see our cadmium red, and this is because it's opaque. So that was an interesting way of looking at the colors. And going back to it, because we use transparent yellows on top of the blue, all what we see green, different kinds of green. We apply the opaque red, so we see only red on the blue. And in this case here, notice that was the original color. We spiced it up, making out of the blue a purplish color using magenta color and alizarin crimson, both transparent and cool reds. In case of really cool blue, again, we use transparent paint, and we saw yellow, and we saw what was happening. We got green. In case of red, cadmium red covered completely, we have red and two different kinds of purple. In case of cadmium red, which you can see this section, we just tried it with just one yellow here, so we get an orange color. Then we intensify the cadmium red color by applying glaze of our reds, the transparent ones, and I mix here both. You can see magenta because it's really cool, but I also added a little bit of alizarin, so it's beautiful, very intense red. And in this section, what we got by using phthalo blue, we got this dark purple color with alizarin crimson underneath, really this dark red. Just again got the different kinds of orange color by interaction of cadmium yellow on top of the alizarin. We intensified the color a little bit more, we left it, that's how the color looked like. And then we have the blue, because the blue was opaque, this one here, that was the cerulean, and then purples. Now in terms of the green, we wanted to see what will happen when you apply a layer of transparent yellow on it. We got another kind of green, not as cool as this one here, more on the yellow side, that means warm green. In this section, by applying the transparent alizarin crimson color, this one here, we got this very intense brown, very dark brown transparent color. Applying the red, we just got the red, and that was the opaque red, and then this is the color the way it was. In case of our yellow colors, here we have yellow ochre or oxide yellow in acrylics, and then we have cadmium yellow light. You can see that by applying different reds, two transparent, alizarin and magenta, you see this more purplish, we got different orange colors, different kinds, and then pure red, we left the color the way it was, opaque version of blue, because the one that we apply on the top was opaque, so no interaction with yellow. And then we get two different greens, depends what kind of blue we used here. One was the phthalo blue, another one was ultramarine. I would like you to do the same kind of exercise on your own with the colors that you intend to apply in your own painting or paintings coming in the future, because the more of those exercises you do that will be right away applied to your own paintings, then faster you will remember what it means to use transparent paint, what it means to use opaque paint. But again, you will not retain the set of information unless you apply whatever kind of exercise you do to your own paintings within 1 week or 2. Thank you and see you next time. Bye.